Angel, soaring like an eagle, eagle, eagle. Nothing is impossible. Don't take impossible. You're brighter than the stars. Brighter than the stars. Don't take impossible. Nothing is impossible. You're brighter than the stars. Yeah, yeah. Brighter than the stars. Don't take impossible. Nothing is.
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to this episode of Helping Brothers Out. I am Derek Durrell Dixon, doing it in the 3D way.
And of course, I'm Elvis, Mr. Classroom,
Where talking always equals healing.
because we are helping brothers out.
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. I am so excited to be back. We were off last week, but we are here today. I am hoping everyone had a wonderful, all the men had a wonderful Father's Day and enjoyed your day. I was home mopping the floor, washing dishes, buying groceries. So I was just doing what I typically do every single day. But I do want to give a shout out to Carolyn Jackson. She cooked me and the Dixon boys a fantastic dinner. So shout out to her. So thank you very much for that.
Yeah.
I'm just excited for us to be in class. He down there looking all smooth and cool and everything.
Yeah.
Class, happy Father's Day.
Oh, same to you. Same to you, to all the kings as well. Yes. Now I'm just feeling good because today started out so good. I had court this morning, and then the police officer ain't show up. I was gonna win the case anyway, but God said, "I don't want you just to win it. I don't want you to have to pay court costs or nothing. We're gonna let you go scot-free." I said, "Oh, today is a good day, so I'm feeling extra cool and crazy today." So I said,
I know that's right.
"Come on,
I know that's right. Now, what you want to talk for, Angel? Let's talk about that. What is it?
I was in court for actually trying to make extra money doing DoorDash, and I was in as I was coming down the side of the street, the police officer said, "It says no stop," and I said, "Sir, I'm handing her food. Pull it over." I said, "Okay, all right," but that's a whole nother story. Yeah, he was in the wrong because I was already in motion. He talking about no stopping.
Okay.
Lady was handing the lady her food, trying to make a
Okay.
couple extra little $4.
Okay. Little $4 then turned into a day down at the courthouse.
Could have been $275.
I know that's right.
I wasn't paying that. I'm coming to court today.
Hey. Well, listen, ladies and gentlemen, we are excited. We got our men's panel today. We got Mr. Jonathan Polk here. We got Dr. Andre Graylock with us today. And we just having just a good time just talking what men, what we don't talk about, what we should talk about, what we want to talk about. So if y'all want to, jump in on the conversation, you got a question for us, that you want to hear the male point of view, all you got to do is just share this video right now. That's what you got to do. All you got to do is click it, like it, love it, share it, do all those things. Make sure that everybody is tuning in right now to Helping Brothers Out right here on Be Inspired Global. So if you want to chime in, just let us know right now because you're going to hear the male point of view today. We got the men's panel. Again, Mr. Jonathan Polk, why don't you introduce yourself? Tell everybody about you, what you do, who you are, why you here, and go.
Well, I appreciate that, Derek. Thank you so much. Obviously, it's an opportunity and privilege to be a part of you all's amazing show. I remember when y'all first got this show started and to see y'all growth and how far it's come, it's definitely inspiration to me and, continue to much success to you both, because again, this is amazing that y'all have this platform and give brothers like us the opportunity just to, come and have a safe place where we can just be ourselves and not have to worry about anybody else and their opinions, but just, again, be men. And talk as men, and like I said again, and give our point of view. Just to get a little bit about me. Obviously, I'm an entrepreneur. I've been an entrepreneur for a little over going about 7 years now. I have a clothing line called UQC Apparel, the streetwear line that tailors towards everybody, men, women, and children, pretty much for everyday wear, and to really speak to that individual who wants to be different from everybody else. I feel like everybody has their own idea of what it means to be unique. But for us, we pretty much encompass that within our brand, and we want to just be able to demonstrate that energy and that encouragement and that inspiration into the masses, and really turn it into a household name, not just obviously for the culture, but just for anybody that feels like they're an individual and that they want to have a brand that truly represents them.
I know that's right. And we will also be featured October 23rd in the fashion show Stop the Runway for Autism.
Yes.
So y'all
That's
gotta
right.
make sure that you check that out. October 23rd, Stop the Runway for Autism. Unique Apparel will be there. Jonathan Pope, the designer. So please make sure, we'll make sure we put the link in the on our page and everything so you can go and purchase the tickets. Dr. Andre Blaylock is in the house. I'm so excited to have my friend back. How are you doing today, sir?
Man, I'm doing good. Like the brother just said, I'm glad to see the growth when y'all first started and where you are today. That's a amazing thing. Like you said, given the platform so that we can talk uninhibited. You know what I mean?
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
So about me, I'm an author. I'm an effective communication strategist. The name of the books, if y'all want them, you need to get them. What's Your Date Number? Book number 2 was Cheat Proof: Why Good People Cheat and Why It Matters. And the third one that just came out last month is The Forensics of Cheating: Mindsets of the Unfaithful. And I'm telling you, man, when it comes to cheating, we dive real deep into that. So I'm excited to be a part of the show today. I'm pretty sure that we're gonna say some stuff. Y'all are some cool brothers. I'm gonna try to hold my own today, but I look forward to a great conversation today.
Hey, look, I want to dive right in right there because I was watching a show, Comedian Stiletto. Shout out to her. Comedian Stiletto had a show, and she was talking about cheating, and the topic was that if you are caught as a man, if you are caught cheating, should you trust your partner anymore? And I thought it was very intriguing about how a lot of the men were saying, no, I don't trust her anymore. She caught me cheating, but I no longer trust her. So I just think that that's very interesting. And because of the fact that we have some men on here that have some very strong opinions. So I'm going to kind of keep it flowing and everything so we're not talking over everybody, but we want to hear everybody's opinion. I know when Mr. Class talks and Mr. Jonathan talk, they love to give you stories that last about 30 minutes. So I'm gonna give y'all 3 minutes to say what you got to say so because we got a lot of stuff that we want to get off our chest and talk about. But I think that that's a great something just to start off with as men. As men, if you're in a relationship, you're the one that gets caught cheating, not her. But she catches you cheating. This could be your spouse, this could be your girlfriend. You get caught cheating. Do you think you could trust her anymore? So I want to, because of the fact that you wrote the book, Dr. Blaylock, I'm gonna end with you, but I'm gonna start with Jonathan and I know that Jonathan is married. Now listen, also we're gonna put a little disclaimer on here because of the fact I don't want y'all to be on there like when Jonathan gets off and then you be like, wait, hold up, wait a minute. You said this on the show and all this kind of stuff. No, we want to have that freedom to be able to express what we feel. So women, let us be who we are today. And this is how you learn about
Derek, can we get that going across the screen?
Right.
I need that disclaimer going across the screen.
We said what we said.
Right. Don't put nobody on the couch tonight. Make them dinner like you usually do. Leave the man alone. We just want to speak, and we ain't speaking for all men, but we just want to have an open conversation. So, Mr. Pope, what do you think? What is your say-so on that?
Oh, I mean, that's a very interesting, I guess, point to even look at. I mean, because typically, like you said, like if I'm caught cheating, I'm obviously the one who's in the wrong. I'm the one who obviously made the mistake, but now to not trust my spouse, that seems kind of weird to, put that kind of situation back on her. But I really think if you think about it, I think it's more so of the fact that now that I've made such a drastic mistake as a man, and now that it's been exposed, now that vulnerability is exposed. So now from my partner's standpoint, any and everything is potentially possible now that she could do based off of now the mistake that I've done. And for men, I think a lot of times, I think it's hard for us to kind of deal with that uncertainty of knowing that now I've unbeknownst gave my partner the green light to potentially, do something that would be uncharacteristic for her. So all those things that maybe I fell in love with her for, all those things that, maybe, be with her in a sense. Now all those things have now been tainted a little bit because now her vision of me has been tainted. So I think it's more so about the idea about now, like, I'm like the individual, the man is dealing with that guilt and putting that guilt back on their partner.
But do you think because of the fact that she caught you cheating, that she was looking for things? She went through your phone. She's been following you around. So do you feel in any way,
you around.
Right.
You never know, been following you around, all that kind of stuff. So now do you think that, I can't even trust you anymore because I can't leave my phone around you anymore? So does that affect that in a way?
Well, I mean, I guess in a sense it could, but in retrospect, if I wasn't, again, sneaking around and doing the deceitful things on my end, potentially I wasn't giving her a reason to do the things that she was doing. I wasn't giving her a reason to look through my phone or to, follow me around or, do all of those things that, like you said, from the outside looking in would make it seem like, okay, I can't trust this person no more either. So I think it's is one of the things where it's like one action is going to constitute another action. So again, so my moves and my actions are dictating the manner in which that's making this person feel uncomfortable or insecure or whatever, to cause them to feel like I have to now make drastic steps to really see what's going on, then I'm responsible for that. And I can't necessarily just put that all on them.
So, Mr. Class, if you again, if you
But you ain't got to tell me that. I'm already tell you off the break. As a man coming first and foremost, you automatically gonna say, yeah, I done got caught. Yeah, now I don't trust her. But at the same sense, that's your woman, so you already know that something is coming. That's your woman, so you have to know to expect something. If at the end of the day, if she still chose to be with you and you did that, you already know your woman. So you 9 times out of 10, you already know what your woman's reaction to a lot of things are already going to be. So whether she does it or whether she doesn't, she's going to make you want to think that she is, even if she's not, because she wants to make you feel what she felt. So it's coming. Just know that.
Fair game? Is it fair game that she retaliates?
In my book, it's going to happen in one way or another, whether she does it purposely, whether she does it impurposely. It's going to happen. Because
why do you feel it's going to happen? Because I don't see that it's always going to happen.
Oh, it's good. Yeah, and see, and by you saying that, that's us automatically thinking, all right, well, I don't think that's going to happen, but it could happen. So now, even if every day she's coming home at 8 o'clock every day, then now one day right after this incident, she comes home at 8:10, you going crazy because now you then drove yourself crazy. Even if she said, okay, baby, it's all right. We gonna work through this. We gonna be fine. And then now, all of a sudden, now you coming home at 8:15. Oh, we going nuts. So that's her getting paid either way. So you know your woman. You should know your woman. Whenever they say, oh, it's okay, that means, oh, it's okay. It never means exactly what they say, never. And nobody, but male or female, never.
Dr. Blaylock.
Yeah. Man, that's a classic case of projecting, because I have a character flaw or I found reasons to leave the relationship and find something else. I'm projecting on my partner my internal struggle, right? And to be honest, man, men just fear revenge sex. If I get caught cheating, I'm just scared that my girl is going to treat me the same way I treated her. But men don't put the same emphasis or value on sex as women do. We really don't. I mean, if we look at the animal kingdom, I hate to bring animals into sometimes, but every male of every species, they fight for dominance, and the winner wins, so he gets the right to mate. So in human form, we beat out every other man that was trying to vie for this woman's attention, and she chose us. So that means I'm everything. I'm everything. So if I cheat and she cheats back, she just told me I'm nothing. I've lost. I've lost to you guys. He came into my kingdom and he's completely destroyed me. I don't want to be there anymore. Men spend time in places where we're winning. If another man comes in and he gets my woman to cheat, because most of the time men are tempted, women are seduced. If he seduces my woman away from me, I don't want that situation no more. I've lost, and most of the time we don't want to deal with it anymore. A woman will forgive you, but most of the time we ain't trying to hear that.
We ain't trying to hear it.
We ain't trying to hear it.
That's a great point.
Yep, because and I see it as I do see it like that, because we as men we are, and it was something we were talking about earlier. Our feelings are more hurt. You know, I'm gonna say, you know, men and women's feelings are hurt, but we take it a different way. Like you say, we were chosen, and now all of a sudden you went somewhere else to look for something else. So therefore, you don't need me anymore because you had to go out and look for something else. But if a man goes out, and let me tell you something, cheating is not always about sex. It could be mentally. It could be, you know, just that it's just whatever's missing at home that they're looking for.
I say cheating happens every day. Cheating happens every single day, whether she's happily married, whether she's whatever. It's that feel. Just like we have that hunting feel, they have that feel as well. So say for instance, if a woman, if they're leaving the house every day, we're giving each other a kiss. Love you, babe. Have a great day. Oh, you look marvelous. Love you, babe. You look great. You look marvelous. Even though it's coming from us and we're saying it, giving her words of affirmation every day. But if she goes by and Mr. Johnson, that everybody likes, but he don't speak to nobody else but her, and says, oh, you look nice today. Oh, you look nice today. It's a different reaction. So say for instance, if Mr. Johnson got moved to a different section, oh, she gonna make her way on over there to pass Mr. Johnson to get that other words of confirmation. To, okay, thank you, Mr. Johnson. And she's not really cheating, but you're going to that man because you want to hear that you look nice today.
Because she's not hearing it at home.
Right. She could be not hearing it at home, or it just seems boring now because it's repetitive. So now she wants to hear it from a new voice. And I feel that way like a lot about a lot of things. You tell them, oh babe, you look nice today. Oh yeah. And then they go, what you think about this? Yeah. Oh, it did. Oh yeah, that's what I was like. I just told you that. What you mean? I just said that. Right. Now James from off the street says something. Now I know you said it, but I needed a little bit more.
So then that opens up about communication and how we need to learn how to communicate. Dr. Blair was talking about communicating and old school dating. We don't have the communication skills as we used to. And a lot of that I blame on social media because of the fact where we had to communicate. We had to have dialogue with each other. We didn't come to the table with phones. We didn't go out to dinner and check our messages every 5 minutes. So what do we say about, and I'm gonna start with you, Dr. Blaylock, what is the problem now with dating and the fact that we've lost the communication skills?
Well, once upon a time, it used to be God is love. Now love is God. People want to put so much emphasis on feelings and emotions and stuff like that. And it's like, we can't really communicate because we're scared of offending each other. When I would work with couples, I've talked to husband and wives that were not friends. A lot of these people you talk, they're not really friends. I mean, we're brothers. Even if there was a sister on the line, I'm not gonna ever go through her phone. I don't care who's calling her or texting her. As long as she's safe or whatever, I'm not really gonna get caught up in the jealousy or sense of loss. And it's kind of like we can't communicate effectively because we can't be taken at our word. People don't want our truth. You know what I mean? So I think when love replaced commitment, that's when everything got turned around. Back in the day when people were together, they stayed together because they needed each other, man. Life used to be hard.
Yep.
These days it's not as hard. So it's like, I don't have to communicate with you. And with most Black women, the number is 65,000. She's making 65,000 a year. I don't need you in my life no more. I might want a man, but I don't need a man. So I don't have to communicate with you because I can find Tyrone on social media.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So that's pretty much what it is. I mean, we don't have open communication. When we start out dating, we're not really truthful. You know, with me, if I'm dating someone, last thing I say, I'll tell them right quick, you can be my girl, my main lady, but I'm going to go out on dates with other women. Now, those dates will consist of lunches, but I know that the 80-20 theory is real. You can be 80% of what I want and need, but 20% you can't touch no matter how hard you try.
Is that what that means? I always hear people say 80-20, and I'm like, what in the world is 80-20?
Yeah, it is. It's a thing.
So say what that is again, because I'm telling you, I've never understood what 80-20 was.
The 80-20 theory means that 80% of what you need and desire in a relationship, if you want to be with another person, that person can provide it for you. But 20% is attached to your individuality, and they can't touch it no matter how hard they try. The deal is, like, if you like going out, let's just say, and shooting pool, and you're pretty good at it, but your girl is not. When y'all get together and you go out, now she don't want you to shoot pool, or she wants to go with you, but she sucks at it. She's not trying to get better at it. She just wants to be with you. Now, if I'm like, look, babe, you don't shoot pool very well. I want to join this club where I can go shoot on Tuesday nights. Any females there? Well, yeah, I like shooting with Teresa. Now she has a problem, but no matter how hard she tries, she cannot touch that part of me that's attached to my individuality. And we lose ourselves to relationships. You got to keep yourself alive. And the last thing I'll say, one of the things that really surprised a lot of people when it came to cheating is, I'm this version of myself before I meet Teresa. I start dating Teresa, I get involved with her. Now she doesn't like this, she doesn't like that. So I start changing bits and pieces of my personality because I want peace. One day I can look into the mirror and not recognize the person staring back at me. Sometimes people cheat to get back to the person they were before that relationship.
Wow.
You know?
Hey, that was, I like that. And you said something real profound just now. First of all, I want to say, Black men don't cheat. I just want to put that out there. I want everybody to know Black men don't cheat.
We get together and we pray. That's how we
Okay.
Speak
on it. You better speak on it. But you said something just now that really hit home, you know what I'm saying, for me in a little way, when you was like finding that peace. And I think a lot of times as men, especially, when we're out here trying to do, our very best and try and be, upstanding citizens and just very, in a sense, beat the stereotype or what society depicts us already as being in the first place. So you figure, you out here trying to do all of those things in the best possible way. And then for whatever reason, it's not being reciprocated, or it's not being seen, or it's not being justified, or whatever. Like you said, you making these changes and all of these things because you're just looking for that sense of peace. You're looking for that sense of just a safe space where you can just feel like I'm not being judged, I'm not being ridiculed, I'm not being, persecuted, or I'm not having a finger pointed at me or whatever. I'm just being seen as who I am, and how I am is being accepted by the individual that I devoted my life to, or that I say I love, or that I'm in a relationship with. And I think a lot of times that gets overlooked, or that gets forgotten when you think about, how many times, males are out here, again, instinctively trying to, again, be the upstanding citizens, or again, trying to beat or curb that negative narrative, but it gets overlooked because it's this idea that it's just automatically supposed to be that way, or we're automatically supposed to get it, or automatically supposed to understand how to do. When majority of the time it's a learning process. It's, it's something that we have to gradually figure out as we're progressing as men.
Right, bars. So listen, and both of y'all kind of hit on it. Do you think, because of the fact, communication is different now, is because of the fact that women are making more money than men at this time. But we were discussing this earlier before we started the show, how women are having the CEO jobs and running companies and everything, but their job duties would be different than what a man's job duties were if he was the owner, the CEO. Do you see that? Do you feel like that? That even though they want equal equality, is there truly equal equality? I'm gonna start with you, Mr. Class.
I'll say in a sense, no, it's not. Because like if some of those, even if those CEO, let's say for instance, those CEO qualifications said on a bad day, during hurricane, we still got to go outside and pick up everything and get down in the nitty gritty and get our hands dirty and do stuff like that. But on a 1,000% of the time, like we're used to just being in a suit, but then it may come that day and then a woman may be like, well, no, that's too heavy. I can't do that. I can't uplift that. I don't want to go outside. I don't want to do that. I'm the CEO. But as you signed on as a CEO, our other CEOs is getting out there doing it. So why can't you? So I feel like a lot of times it is like when it's more comfortable for whoever it is, whether it be male or whether it be female. We pick and choose our battles. So I don't think it'll ever be equal, no.
Dr. Blaylock, I want to hear your thoughts on that.
I mean, the whole term equality is getting kind of skewed. Women do, for the most part, have equality of opportunity, but they want equality of outcome. You can't qualify outcome, because as a CEO, you might not be willing to do what I'm willing to do, because women value things more. Like if a woman wants to be a mother, if she wants to be a wife, she's going to value her family to some level. She's not going to be willing to work 80 hours a week at the job where I will be. I'm willing to do that, but she's not. So I don't get paid the same amount of money. Well, I work 80 hours this week. You work 55 or 60, and most of the time women choose jobs, like we're talking to earlier, that deal with other people. They tend to choose jobs that don't pay that much money for the most part. If you leave them alone, men choose jobs dealing with things, architecture, mechanic, plumbing. Women choose stuff like social work, teaching, psychology, and those fields just typically don't pay well, for one. And just piggybacking off what we were saying a while ago, the best place that a woman could hope to be, because most of the time, most women have a man of their imagination. They have a man, like if a man just did this, men are not going to be like you want us to be. We're different for a reason. Just like you're not going to be like we want you to be. The best place I found for a relationship is when the woman is in love with the man and the man really likes the woman. When a man really likes her, man, he wants to be around her. He's bragging on her, man. He's like, yo, man, my girl, this, that, and that. But when he falls in love with her, men don't love women the same way. We just don't love the same way. We lose the excitement. Now it's dutiful. Now it's like, well, a real man should be doing this. A real man should be doing that. And it's like, I'm not excited about that. So if a man really likes you, keep him in real life with you. Because when he loves you, he is not going to be the man of your imagination and like the one that you see on TV.
Wow. Ladies and gentlemen, you watching Helping Brothers Out here on Be Inspired Global. This is just the narrow point of view. We are not downing anybody, nothing like that. But the fact is that we just want to give you real talk. This is how we think. This is what we do. So if you want to better your relationship with your partner, with your husband, with your boyfriend, communication is one of the key things that you have to have, because if you don't have that communication, I'm sorry, you've lost what they say, 80-20. You done lost it. I don't know if I used that right, but hello. But Jonathan, what do you think about that?
I mean, look, man, like kind of like my brother just said, that whole term equality now is getting so, it's getting so, vague. In the idea of what equality means anymore, because everybody seems like they're trying to, reach or be a part of some type of equality, however that represents them. I mean, I've obviously, being an entrepreneur, I've met a lot of, female entrepreneurs and, and being inspired and obviously learn stuff from female entrepreneurs as well. So I don't necessarily think a female CEO couldn't do what a male CEO does, but I do agree with from the premise that the objective is probably different. When a male wants to be a CEO, because men want to be the boss. Like, we're designed to be the boss. We're designed to be the conquerors. We're designed to be the king. We're designed to be on the top of the hill. So our motive for being the CEO is to have that, that being revered as being the boss. And like my man just said, we're willing to do certain things to keep that seat of being on top. Like, females are built like that. Now, some females, because of circumstance, had to learn how to become like that, but that's not naturally engraved in them. That's not naturally how they're meant to be, So like I said, so that idea of equality is kind of hard to really say if that's ever going to happen, because you have to then wonder, does the makeup of a woman ultimately, will that ever change? Will their outlook, will their mindset, will their, ambition, where their values, will those things that are engraved in them, will those change, based off of, environment or whatever? And will now all the things that make men, will those things now, take a turn for the left and make them kind of be like the ones that are, thinking about everything else and not trying to be the king and not trying to be the boss? So I don't think that's never going to be something that will ever really be what they consider equality, of being like 50-50. I just don't really see that ever really happening.
All right, now listen, y'all got the women chiming in. You got them chiming in now. So let me just read a couple of
they mad at classes to win.
Already know who on there. What Dr. Nicole got to say?
They say people avoid authentic communication because they have the fear of conflict. That could be true. Some, Latia Barnes, some are married and faithful without even liking each other. That's a big one right there. Some are married and faithful without even liking each other. Wow. Holly said, I told my now husband, I am not marrying someone who is not my best friend. So, a lot of people are marriage is like, if you can't be my best friend, then we can't be together. Money is not the problem or the fact, but I don't know. I think a lot of times that money is a problem. Money can be a big issue in relationships. I truly believe that money can, especially if a man is not out there doing, and you've got kids and whole houses and things to take care of, and something breaks down and you can't take care of it as a man. I think that's a big issue. I personally do. So I don't know, when it comes to money, what do you think, Mr. Clarence, when it comes to money and relationships?
When it comes to money and relationship, man, that will never, ever be the same. Like, it doesn't matter. No. We can make it prime example with Kim Kardashian and Kanye West. It became, she realized as though she didn't really marry her best friend, because she thought she was out there searching for all the glitz and the glamour. She said it. She broke it down on Wendy Williams. I saw a Breesville segment. She broke it down. She said, I have everything. I have all of the big things. I have all of this. Anything you can think of, I have it. But the small things, I just want to sit down and watch Housewives with my husband. I want us to be in the same house, and I just want us to put the star on top of the tree. And it's just the little things. So it'll always be something. And money will always be the problem. Money was always going to be the root of all evil. It's always.
Dr. Blaylock, do you think? Go ahead.
No, I mean, I hate using celebrities like that, but she married a high value man.
Mm-hmm.
You see what I'm saying? She married a man with potential. She didn't marry the dude that makes the $28,000 to $34,000 a year like most black men in America make. She married a millionaire. It's kind of like, no, you ain't gonna want to sit around and put leaves on. I mean, it's a whole different mindset. It's a whole different mindset. And this whole best friend thing, yo, men are not, look, the man of her imagination. It used to be that grandpa worked all day. Grandma probably stayed home and took care of the house while he worked his 2 or 3 jobs and made sure that they had. But when he came back home, he got the biggest piece of chicken. He wasn't trying to hear all them problems.
That's right.
He wants some peace. He wants to sit up there and try, well, tell me about your day. And we best friends. It's not, most men do not want to sit and listen about that B Kim on your job and how we tell us the problem so we can give you the solution. But the man of a woman's imagination want to hear all that stuff and want to sit, get you a gay friend if you want that kind of attachment, because most men are not going to give that to you. Your man is not going to be your best friend like you want him to be.
Wow.
That don't mean you can't talk to him. That don't mean you can't communicate.
Not all the way.
But most of us, now let's just see. Now it's 4 brothers on this call right now. Most men do not communicate most of the time deeper feeling with words. Something could be going on with any 3 of these brothers, and I come up to them, I just tap them on the shoulder. That says more than me trying to articulate words, because body language, effective communication is 93% what you don't say. And women want you to do all this. Men don't have a lot of this. We have action. You know what I mean?
See?
Wow.
And see, that's coming from so Mama Sharon, if you watch it, like a lot of the times we don't need to say it. We carrying so much weight on us already just for being a black man walking out here every day in these streets of America. It's a survival of the fittest. So it's like a lot of times when we come home, it's like, okay, we want to hear, hey, home, then how was your day? And then a little bit, then that's it. We need silence. Silence, let me get myself together. Let me wash my butt. Let me see if the game is on. Let me see if the food is ready. And then once I get calm, cool, collective, and relaxed, then I'm gonna spit it out just a little bit, but I'm at peace. Women is, and then if you don't respond to what, oh, you ain't listening to me. You ain't want to understand. Oh, I do, but I've been listening to this all day. Be quiet.
Yeah.
Oh, I agree with that. I agree with that because I'm the type of person. A lot of people always think that I'm such an extrovert. I'm out there and I'm doing this. But let me tell you something. When I come home, I come home. I don't want you calling me. I don't want to step back outside. I'm by myself. I want to be by myself. I don't want to talk. I don't want to do all of that. And a lot of people always think that I am the type of person where I've always got to be doing something. No.
Oh.
When I was a flight attendant, I would get off that plane and go straight to my room. I could be in Las Vegas. I didn't need to go to casinos and all that kind of stuff. I walking through the hotel enough and heard all that ding, 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 ding. That was enough for me. I wanted to go to my room. I wanted peace. Don't call me and ask me, do you want to go downstairs and eat? No, I'm going to eat by myself. I'm okay.
That's that 55-year-old man talking.
Right. And I'm quite sure we have all dealt with this. Women, get out your notepads, like this video, share this right now. We have all dealt with this. We have had a horrible day, and then you come home, and then they say, well, what's wrong? Nothing, I'm fine. And then because you said nothing, I'm fine now, they got an attitude because they think you got an attitude when you really don't have an attitude, but now you got an attitude. Now what happens? We end up apologizing for some stuff that we didn't even do.
But I gotta say this. Half the time you lying. Half the time we lying. You know that there's something wrong. You know there's something, and I don't care if it was traffic. I don't care if it was something on the job. You lying because of the fact you don't want to talk about it. So there's
right then and there.
But you just don't want to talk about it. You ain't fine. You ain't fine. But you just don't want to talk about it at that time.
Yeah.
But there's a difference saying,
right now.
Listen,
right now.
We had some things going on, but I don't want to talk about it right now. We talk about it later. But I'm not fine, so leave me alone right now. So you gotta be able to communicate that to say, listen, give me some space. I know I'm not fine, because then they wouldn't keep hounding you. Oh,
no, but check this out. Women do the same exact thing. Baby, what's wrong? Nothing. They want you to ask them 999 times, but you should have asked me 1,000 more. Because we know you're not fine. We know that everything is not okay, but we want to keep asking you. And then now we gotta relax and gotta wait. And come on, man. No, because they do the same stuff. It's vice versa. It's with the same thing.
Look, I'm gonna shift gears real quick. And we're gonna talk about something because I really want to hear y'all's point of view on this as well. Monique had a big stir here lately and started this talking about the women going outside wearing their bonnets, going outside wearing their pajamas, hitting on Black women for going out in public like that. They should care for themselves more, and just the fact that they don't represent Black women well when they're out in their bonnets and their pajamas and things like that. So I really want to hear y'all's point of view, the man's point of view of when you see our Black women out with their bonnets on, with their pajamas on. Do you feel like they represent or they do not represent? What is your take on it? And I'm going to start with you, Mr. Dr. Blaylock.
Oh, I want to hear what he got to say.
Right. And then we're going to
man.
you, Brother Derek. And then we're going to go to Jonathan.
I'm going to say what I got to say.
The sisters that wear the bonnets and the pajamas, they're still going to get they're going to get approached by the brothers who like that kind of thing. Mm-hmm. So to say they're misrepresenting everybody, I mean, it's kind of hard. That's their individual choice, and they're successful with the men that like women with bonnets and pajamas. It is their choice to wear it. Do I think it's the best choice to walk out there looking like Aunt Jemima? So I don't think so, but I'm not attracted to women who look like that. So to me, it's like, if it don't affect me, it don't bother me. It's like, I might see it, but hey, I don't see it. But I do think, it's like, hey, that's fine. If they feel comfortable wearing it, that's who they are on the inside, man. That's who they are on the inside. So I don't think it's the best look, though.
The way I feel about that whole topic is I feel like that a lot of times we always want to tear down Black women for a choice that they have made. I don't feel that a bonnet, if wearing pajamas outside or anything like that, misrepresents Black women in any way. I do not. Now, let's say Kim Kardashian. Let's say Miley Cyrus.
It becomes a trend.
All of a sudden, go outside in bonnets and everything. Oh, all of a sudden it's fashionable because a white woman did it. Because of the fact that a Black woman did it, now all of a sudden we have to drag her. And I think as Black men, that we have to support our Black women. I don't know why she put on her bonnet. She put on her bonnet because of the fact she just got her hair did, whatever. That's her choice. But
you take it off.
To keep dragging our Black women because of the fact that they made a choice bugs me. And it does not make you not a queen or nothing like that. Because of that, it took us back to slavery. Hey, listen, there's a lot of things that take us back to slavery that you do. Now, a man could walk out and put on his do-rag and it's fashionable. It's cool. It keeps our hair together. It keeps our waves together. But little do they know, a do-rag is what Black women used to wear out in the fields to keep their hair together when they was picking cotton. So if you want to talk about something, know your facts and know all the facts before you get on our Black women. Support them and stop putting them down just because of the fact they wore something on their head you don't choose to wear on your head. And I'm done. You're welcome.
You're welcome.
Okay. All right. Man, do-rag, man, it's like utility though. Like at the end of the day, if I'm wearing a do-rag and I'm going to shoot ball or something like that, that's cool. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. But me just stepping out there like it's a fashion statement, like I mean, I think it's the time and the place for everything. You getting up early in the morning, you rushing out, you don't want to put something on, you run into the store, fine. But if that's your representation all day long, and you going everywhere, going to pick up your kids like that and all that stuff, it's kind of like you are leaving an impression, man. You're leaving an impression. You can choose to wear it. That's true. But
Mhm.
people are gonna think about you differently. And you're doing it to yourself.
And
Sorry.
I think that you leave an impression, but I'm gonna say this. You are who you are anyways.
Anyway,
You know, that's you. You didn't you know, if you don't go pick them up in your red bottoms, but you know that that's how you pick up your kids and that's how you go to the grocery store. That's you anyways. So I'm just gonna know that, hey, that's Keisha. That's what she do. I don't think that misrepresents all Black women. I don't think that downs all Black women. I think that's an individual. That's who you are. And I don't look at you any different because of the fact that I'm running late. I got to jump up, throw on my flip-flops, and put on, I still may have on my robe. Come on, let's go. I got to drop you off. So I got to get you out here. But when they see me like, look at Derek, he's so funny, they still know that I'm Derek. I just got on flip-flops and a robe on that day.
Yeah.
So I don't know. Mr. Class.
So I'll say this, but first off, let me stick up for the brother with the do-rag. I used to wear the do-rag because I'm a 90s baby, and I used to just doing the big clothes, and I had my do-rag to match my fitted cap with my jersey. So that was a stop. Bonnets was never a stop. So that's a fact. We go to New York right now, everybody got on do-rag right now. But bonnets and stuff, I personally don't care because that way I get to see that woman for who she is. I get to know what she looks like without me.
Right.
I get to know that she's actually more confident than anybody. She's that much more confident than a person that's out here with the red bottoms and this, that, and the third. I don't care. She's showing a stretch mark. Only thing that I don't agree with is if you got the whole combination on. That's when I say you representing your whole family. Is when you got the bonnet, you got the matching pajamas, they got holes and stains, and you got the flip-flops with the fur, and then your ankles and your kneecaps and everything is ashy. Now, if it's the whole combination like that, I'm in total disagreement. Go play on 695 at 415, your whole family, because you should not come out here with ashy ankles, fur, and ash on your legs, and holes and stains in your pajamas and a bonnet. That shows to me you don't care.
Right. Now, and again, that person has always been that way. They've always been that way. They don't care. So they representing who they are. That's
Yeah.
Mr. Pope.
Bro, you out here examining ankles? Like,
That's right.
Yes.
He all
Because
looking at
that's
looking at
automatic. That's
ankles
what
and everything.
If Derek got on flip flops and he came out the house and was like, okay, Derek, hey, whoa, brother Derek, did you miss a spot? I'm gonna tell him the same thing. You missed your ankles. You can't wear flip flops and you miss your ankles and got the crustaceans back. That's for men and women. You gonna wear flip flops? Get a pedicure.
Hey.
it's funny. I mean, nah, man, I pretty much agree with all of y'all. I mean, like you said, keep in mind, I am married, so, my Black queen, she would never do that. She would never walk out of the house with a bonnet on. But if they say that she did, I wouldn't look at it any different. It wouldn't change my opinion of her. It wouldn't change my view of her or anything like that. I mean, again, if that's how you want to depict yourself or that's how you want to carry yourself for that moment or what have you, then that's your business. And it's not for me or anybody else to put a judgment or to say what you should or should not do, because obviously we've all done things in life that we probably would look back on and be like, you know what, I probably should have did that, or if I could take that back, I would, or what have you. So like I said, I mean, I think, at the end of the day, I think what Derek said initially about us tearing Black women down, or just us as a people tearing each other down, I think that is really the heart of it, because again, it came from a Black woman to say something vocal about Black women versus if it was somebody else from another culture who made that statement, then we'll be all up in arms and ready to go and cut their head off, So I just think we have to really change that narrative and really change that, just that whole energy and that whole spirit about always want to be critical about what we do as a people. I think if we just can kind of eliminate that altogether, then a lot of this stuff wouldn't be an issue.
I want to ask you have something else to say?
I was going to say again, Monique is a celebrity.
Yes.
The level that she operates on and what she sees, She's like, okay, we up here at the top are fighting for our people, us. And then the people that we're fighting for are trying to represent. You coming outside and looking like and being the exact opposite, portraying the stereotypes that we're trying to tear down up here on the top so that they can look at us differently. And they walk out and say, I told you, Monique, you cool, but most black women, it's like, no, it's not most black women. It's not. It's not, but it's kind of like, it has an effect. It really has an effect. And again, when you're talking about celebrities, it's just a different viewpoint, man. You know, it's just a different viewpoint.
I just can't wait till Monique get a movie role offer that she has to wear a bonnet and slippers and
She did.
You already had one, right?
She was in Precious. It's the whole
and she got
time
paid.
she was in
She got paid
flip
for it.
flops.
So go sit down, and her ankles was ashy. No,
They was. They was. They was.
I'm gonna shut up. Go ahead. What's up? What's
I love you, baby. As you say, I love you, Puddin'. I love you.
right. Listen, we got about 10 minutes. I want, as men, as fathers, as husbands, boyfriends, partners, what is one thing, and I know that there's something within all of us. What is one thing that you would have done different? That you know that if I could change this about me, or if I could change something, what would you do? What would you do different? I'm gonna start with myself. I think that with myself, we always do self-evaluations. And I think that I would have loved myself more. And the reason that I say that is because that I'm such a giver. A lot of times I forget about me. And then that's why I went through a lot of depression. And I went through, you can't blame divorces always on everyone else. I was a part of it. I was a part of that marriage. So I have to be a part of that, because I don't feel like I loved myself enough to know that I was a good husband, or I was that I deserved it. So I think that I would have done that. I would have now, I love the me that I am. I love me some me. And I look at my success and where I'm at now because of the fact that I learned how to love me first and love me more. So that's the one thing I would have changed, but I did change it. And I think that now I'm in a better place. There's still self-improvement that I still, tweak and work on and things like that. But that's the thing that I think that got me to where I'm at today. Mr. Pope.
Well, obviously, kudos to Derek for that. I think, we all can probably relate to that to some degree. Because again, just coming up again as Black boys and as Black men, and, it's not an easy thing to do. So I think, like I said, I think we all could probably relate to that to some degree of just self-love and self-care for ourselves and making that a priority, and not something that we can just, throw to the wayside. Something else though, I think that, I wish I would have figured out a lot sooner, because I think it would have definitely, caused me not to make so many mistakes growing up or just coming up, was to listen. I think a lot of times, again, just because of circumstance or just situations or just whatever, I think a lot of times, we think that we're listening, but in reality, we're just hearing. Because again, kind of like my brother was talking about earlier, we're as men, we're always trying to figure out what's the best solution to fix a problem, to go and to move on to the next thing. And, to have that, persona, or always to have that type of energy is good in some cases, but also can be damaging in other cases, because sometimes, you're overlooking the most important thing in, dealing with a circumstance or a situation, where it's just to be a listener. And I think, if I was to have gained that understanding a lot sooner, it would have, curbed a lot of, conversations. I probably would have saved some relationships. It would have just made a lot of things a lot more easier coming up, just with the understanding of knowing that listening is a necessity. It's not an option. It's definitely something that has to be practiced and something that has to be put into how you function.
Right.
And I give that credit to definitely, again, not only obviously my wife, but definitely my kids, man. Like my
Right.
kids have made me learn how to listen. Like
Kids,
they
Yeah,
made it a point where I
having
understand.
kids will.
Yeah, they really made it a point to make me understand that listening, again, has to be a priority. Like that has
Yes.
to be a necessity skill that I have to put into practice and understand the importance of it. So
Wow.
I give all credit to them for that.
Mr. Class.
Hey, these are my views and my views only. These have nothing to do with being Inspire Global. Remember that. But everybody knows I love my kids and everything. But my choice that I wish I could have done differently is I wish I had stayed a virgin.
Mm.
I'm for real.
No, be real,
Because
right?
If the more and more that I think about it, because everybody knows whenever you're when you're encountering that type of relationship, you're giving a piece of yourself. So that's almost in the same sense of what you were saying is how to love yourself more. So that's me telling myself I need to be more selfish.
Mm.
Because before kids, I was worried about thinking I'm getting up, riding my bike, thinking about me, what's my next plan, what I need to do for myself, what's going to make myself smile today, what's going to do this. But as soon as you start giving your piece to that self, you start losing yourself and say, oh, I need to make sure they're good. I need to make sure that they're happy. I need to make sure that they need this and that this is taken care of. But while I was a virgin,
Yeah.
that was it. You thought, well, for me, I thought more clearly. I thought more clearly because I was thinking about myself. I was more goal oriented. I wasn't worried about as much. I was still giving, but I wasn't
You lost
more
yourself.
giving to other people than
Yeah.
I was to myself. So yeah, I stick.
That's good. That's some good stuff. Dr. Blaylock.
Right. I would have taken responsibility for my ignorance.
Mm.
You know? I would have realized, like, I just don't know. Like, it was so eye-opening to me when I discovered that most men do not emotionally mature until the age of 43.
Mm.
IQ maybe smart, but emotionally we don't get it to about age 43, 44.
Yeah.
And I can look at that age and look back, I'm like, I was a grown baby.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You know, and it's just kind of like a lot of the decisions I made and everything. It's like, I just didn't know. So I would have taken responsibility for my ignorance because I could have known if I would have wanted to. I was just stuck in all these stereotypes and old school traditional mindsets. And what Mr. Pope said about effective communication. Communication happens on the listener's terms. We always think it's about talking. Communication happens on the listener's terms. Only when you brothers understand what I said, the way that I meant it, that's when we communicate. That's when effective communication happens. So I would have realized that and taken time to realize, hey, I got to make sure that I'm speaking in her language so she can understand it the way she understands it, not the way that I'm trying to give it to her.
Mm. Wow. Y'all, we've had some great discussion. I appreciate y'all being vulnerable and speaking your truth. Because and I think that's what's important, that we have dialogue like this, because we have to teach our men, our young boys, to speak their truth. Because the fact that there's so much suicide out there and there's so much depression, and we've just coming out of pandemics, and as you can see now, there's just so much violence going on because of the fact that people been cooped up, and now we've forgotten how to communicate with each other. We've forgotten how to love each other. We've forgotten how to embrace each other. Give that tap, like Dr. Blaylock's saying, give that tap to see if you're okay. We forgot to do all that, so we have to go out and embrace our men and embrace each other. I love you guys, and there's nothing wrong with saying that, so we just have to learn how to openly communicate and have great dialogue. Jonathan, tell everybody where they can find you real quick.
Absolutely. Y'all can definitely check us out. www.uniquecreationapparel.com, online.com. Follow us at UQC Apparel, Instagram, Facebook, TikTok. Snapchat. We're pretty much on every platform. Again, going to be a part of the Stomp the Runway for Autism fashion show this October. Definitely looking forward to getting back on the runway. So hope you guys see y'all there.
And Dr. Blaylock, where can they find you?
You can find me AndreBlaylock.com. I spell Blaylock with a Y. AndreBlaylock.com. You can get there. You can find other social media links. You can find my blog everywhere that you can call me on the phone on the 800 number. AndreBlaylock.com.
Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for tuning in once again to Help Them Brothers Out right here on the Inspire Global. I am Derek Love Dixon, doing it in a 3D way.
And of course, I'm Elwood, Mr. Class,
We're talking always equal skills.
because we are helping brothers out.
We will see you right here next week, next Thursday, 6:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We really do truly help that y'all understand that talking does equal healing. We'll see you. Thank you for tuning in. Peace.
Peace, everybody.